welcome back to the Xbox Daily Show here at E3. I have a wonderful, wonderful team here to present to you guys from Bandai. How's it going?
Bandai Namco. So,
Namco?
Hi.
So introduce yourselves.
So, Michael Murray. I do game design as well as many other things on the Tekken series. And
I'm Katsuhiro Harada, producer of Tekken series. You know.
Nice. It's an honor to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right. So what have we got here today? You're going to show us some story mode.
Right. So this time around we have it playable on the show floor. And the first thing we're showing at E3 is the story mode. So I'll go straight into this. And you can notice you can pick either one. So
Nice.
both of them, if you saw the E3 conference, the Microsoft one, you could see that we were playing this on stage. And I think he picked Heihachi, but you can pick Akuma as well. We'll go with Heihachi just for a start. So as you see, for this time, it's the first time since Tekken 6, people were wondering what was happening with various story arcs and such.
Right.
For Tag 2 is more kind of a game with many more characters, a lot more game mechanics tuned towards hardcore players. This is more kind of returning to story mode, what's going on with the Mishima clan.
Get to know the characters a little bit more.
Right.
And a bit of their background story.
And you're going to see the final showdown kind of between the father and son,
Right.
Heihachi Mishima and Kazuya Mishima.
Skip.
Skip? Okay. The boss says skip, so well.
I'm
we'll
looking
proceed
forward
with
to
this.
this.
So I think you saw part of this in the trailer, but the point to notice is you have the opening CG, then it transitions straight into the in-game cinematics, and then into the gameplay itself without loading.
Wow, that's impressive. That was good. And I see that Ling Xiaoyu is in Tekken 7 as well.
Right. One of your favorites?
she's my favorite character. Yes. I love her stances. I love her combos. She's just brilliant.
And for the first time, people are seeing Akuma from the Street Fighter series.
Right.
He showed up in Tekken 7 Faded Retribution, which is kind of an update to the arcade series that's coming next month.
And that's a bit of a big step, isn't it? Introducing a Street Fighter character into Tekken.
Right. So it's kind of, I think fans will be excited to see how he transitions into 3D. His moves, his combos, the way he feels, the kind of stop hit effects from the 2D fighters. All of these things are portrayed in 3D. I'm getting beat up, sorry. Oh.
No, I'm very excited. I've been waiting a long time for the next Tekken game. As I know a lot of other people have, it's such a great game. You guys have done a really great job with all of the ones that you've done.
You played the last one?
I did not play the last one. No, I did not.
So you can see that, I'm getting beat up a bit. He goes into this super mode. So you can see various mechanics are different from the standard versus because he regained his health when he goes into that stance. And there's various, like, people thought that, when I dodged the fireball, they were thinking that's a QT, a quick,
Right.
but it's not. You can do whatever you want. That's kind of just a suggestion. I could jump over it. It could hit me, and I'll still be alive, probably. There's various options you have.
So what are the main differences between the last Tekken and this one?
So the last one, well, I guess the biggest one is the format. You were a two on two, but this one you have boom. So then
Nice.
see that nice event there that you don't see in the versus
Yeah.
format. So yeah, we're back to the one-on-one format, which a lot of people really liked. So I think this will kind of make it more accessible for a wider audience. And we've oh, there you go. This is his trademark move, the Raging Demon. I believe they call it in Street Fighter.
Oh, this was in the trailer as well.
Right.
It was.
So he has it in the normal versus, but this is kind of the story mode, so you have different mechanics, different situations. And then it's this is now the in-game cinematics. So yeah, like I was saying, it's back to the one-on-one format. This is the first time the game's been on Unreal Engine 4, so you can see the leap in the graphical quality.
Yeah, you can, definitely.
I think people might have seen footage first from the Arcade 7, and then the 7FR, we actually ramped up the graphical quality as well, so the team's getting more familiar with how to use the Unreal Engine effectively.
Yeah. And what's your feedback been like from your fans? So I know you've got a lot of beloved fans.
じゃあ原さんに振るか。フィードバックどうだったのか。
いや
I'll give this one to him.
今回は非常にみんなのフィードバックはすごくいいですね。なんでかっていうと結構今までも E3 毎年来てますけど、やっぱわざわざこのデモをプレイした人が僕らのことを探しに来て、わざわざ会いに来て非常にも素晴らしい、これもっといろんな話聞かせてくれみたいな感じで来る人が多いので、ちょっと今までと反応が違いますよね。
There's really overwhelming positive support. We've been to E3 many years, but just the level of excitement. We've seen people who played the game or they saw the game on stage at Microsoft press conference, and they would just come up to us personally and say, "Oh my God, I love this game. This time TEKKEN7 is so hype. I can't wait for it to come out. Hurry up."
Yeah. So tell me, how do you choose your particular characters to go into these games?
どうやってキャラ選ぶのか、まあストーリーモードじゃなくて多分普通だと。
全体的になロースターということだよね。そうですね。まずはやっぱりシリーズのやっぱりゲームなので、鉄拳ってみんな人気って一言で言いますけど、実はキャラクター人気っていうのとキャラクター使用率はまたそれぞれ別なんですね、カテゴリーとしては。だからいわゆるコアなプレイヤーがよく使うキャラクターとみんながいわゆる広いオーディエンスが好むキャラクターの人気っていうのがそれぞれあるんで、その2つをちょっと分析して、もちろんその上の上位から選ぶのもあるんですけど、それ以外にもやっぱりこういうキャラが入った方がきっと初心者が面白いだろうとか、僕らセグメントを例えば男性プレイヤー女性プレイヤーって分けるとか年齢で分けるだけじゃなくて初心者とか上級者とか、もしくはあと国ごとだとかってセグメントをこういうふうに分けて、そこに適したキャラクターラインナップをできるだけワールドワイドな考え方で入れていくっていうのがやり方です。
So, I guess you can say that people choose by popularity, but the meaning of popularity kind of changes depending on the segment. Whether you're an intermediate player, a beginner, the popularity even differs between regions, or even if you're a female or a male. The girl gamers like different characters often than males. So there's one vector, I guess, the actual strength of the character as the players judge it, but then also the story background of the character, what it looks
Yeah,
like.
because you have to tie it all in together, don't you, exactly for story mode?
Right.
Yeah. So it all has to work.
So this is just playing through again with Akuma instead of Heihachi.
I see.
And so you can see the scenario is roughly the same in this demo version, but some of the events and such are different.
ほっとけばデモループ入る。
Hello?
デモループ入るんじゃん、ほっとけば。
Okay. So yeah, I'll let it just go through the demo loop so people can get an idea of some of
Sure.
the gameplay.
で結構やっぱり今回はビデオで見たりストリーミングで見たりしてる人が多い中で、実際の実機はマイクロソフトのブースだとか、あとバンダイナムコのビジネスブースで見た人は結構驚いていて、ストリーミングとかで見てる、あと YouTube とかそういうビデオで見てるよりも全然画面が綺麗なので、それに結構驚いてる人が多いです。
Recently with games, it's all about the Twitch streaming or live streaming. So people watching, they say, "Oh, the game looks amazing," but they don't realize that sometimes the graphical quality is not as
Oh,
good
it
on the
differs.
stream
It
as
does.
actually in person. So when people see it up close, they're even more surprised. But as you can see, the environments are, the way they're rendered, the lighting, everything is much better this time around with Unreal Engine 4. The stages are breakable. You can
You've done a
break
really
through the
great
walls and
job.
such.
That's wonderful. So is there anything you want to sort of elaborate on that we haven't already?
Well, I think the gameplay mechanics, because
Right.
in the West, there's not many arcades left, and TEKKEN7 isn't out in the arcades in the ones that are still around here. Mainly in Asia, Australia. You're from New Zealand, right?
New Zealand, yes.
It's there too.
Yes.
So Western gamers haven't really had a chance to play it unless they've been to some of the Wizard World events or Final Round or some of the bigger fighting game
Yeah.
tournaments. Or Europe, there's
It's
even
more
less.
accessible, so that's great.
Right.
Yeah.
So besides the graphics, we have several new gameplay mechanics. All the characters, they're returning characters. They've been revamped with new costumes. Some of the gameplay mechanics are, for example, rage arts. So I don't know how familiar you are with Tekken. When your health goes down to a certain amount, I
Right.
think from Tekken 6 we had this mechanic called rage, which gives you a little bit more power until the remaining.
I know Tekken
for the
7
remaining
has
round
rage as well, doesn't it?
is flashing,
Yeah.
right? Well, this time you can choose to use
Oh,
it
there she
in a
is.
different way. For example, you lose your rage status, but you can do a rage attack. So what happens is there's kind of like a preset animation, kind of like a super move. where you can actually power through your opponent's hit. So if you time
Oh,
it right,
wow.
you can interrupt their attack, land your attack, and do these really cool animations that are different for each character,
Counteracting.
doing massive damage.
Yeah.
And one thing some people who know Tekken well know that mechanic, but there's a change we've made just recently where the less health you have, the more damage your character does. So it's even more strategic about when do I use this, because going into rage right away might not do as much damage as if you wait till a little bit later when you have less health. Also, there's another brand new mechanic called Rage Drive.
Okay.
So also when you're in rage, rather than doing that preset kind of finishing move, you can choose to do, it's more of a unique attack, like just a simple standard one that differs between characters, but it has very good offense properties. Like normally fighting games, if you get your attack blocked, it's not your turn anymore. For example, I'm just to simply explain it. With this one, you're still in advantage even if you get blocked. You can continue combos. You can keep your opponent on their toes and perhaps finish the round. So there's a lot more strategy there with the rage mechanics now.
This would be a good battle.
This is actually my character, Devil Jean, on the right. One of the Mishimas. So Jean Kazama. This is like his alternate self when he transforms. So yeah, I mean, this time we've got a lot more mechanics. Even the existing characters have brand new moves. And Akuma, for people who are seeing him the first time, he's actually had quite a lot of new moves added to his moveset.
Oh, right, yep.
So a lot of the Street Fighter fans are looking forward to him.
Oh yeah, testing him out. For
And
sure.
it's surprising because, you know, for example, I don't know if you Justin Wong or some of the more popular Street Fighter players, they've actually picked up the game. They said that the combos they do normally can work right away. So it's a really easy transition.
Do you see it becoming quite competitive?
We do.
Yeah.
You
Do
know,
you have future plans for or hopes?
We do. You know, Tekken's always been pretty popular at the EVO, the biggest tournament in the States, as well as various tournaments throughout the world. And that's not something we've had to push. It's just something naturally that happens with fighting games, because it is a competitive genre itself. But even so, this is the first year we've done Wizard World. If you know that, it's kind of like a con that goes to different cities.
Oh, okay. I do not know of that one.
So we partnered up with them. Since the game's not out, we're demoing it on arcade boards. And so each stop, people can participate in the tournament. It's free to enter, so
that's good.
we're trying to open it up to a wider audience. And then at the same time, we have the standard popular fighting game tournaments like Combo Breaker, Final Round, EVO, etc. So
There's a lot of passionate people out there. They'll put a lot of time into.
yeah, and worldwide, you know, there's various famous players from the U.S., from Korea, Japan, from all over the globe. So you can really see how Tekken is popular worldwide.
あとはだから今回そういうトーナメントとか見越して結構見てる人を意識したシステムを入れてるので、プレイしてる人も楽しいんですけど、お互いの体力がすごい減った状態でお互いのこう技がぶつかるときに、よくあるボクシングなどの、スーパースローのリプレイですよね。それがリプレイじゃなくてリアルタイムにゲームの中で、ギリギリ当たりそうになったらこうスーパースローになって、場合によっては本当にそのまま当たらないこともあったりするんですけど、KO の瞬間どっちが勝つのかっていうのを見てる人もプレイしてる側も息を飲んで見れるっていうちょっとそういうスーパースローシステムっていうのを入れてますね。
One main pillar of the game this time around for 7 is not only is it fun to watch, to play, but we've tried to make it more entertaining to watch because of these big tournaments. For example, the Rage Arts that I was just talking about, the super finishing move, but also, Harada-san was just mentioning that there's a slowdown mechanic. So if either you or your opponent have very little health left, and you're trading blows, it kind of goes into slow motion. And there's a lot of tension because you
there's
don't know
a lot of
which one's gonna
satisfaction
hit.
in seeing that.
Right. And I guess for people who haven't seen it, you can explain it. It's kind of like the boxing matches that you see afterwards, the replay, where they slow it down so you can see what's going on. Well, this actually happens in real time in the game when people are trading blows. So yeah, it's much more entertaining to watch on stream and in person, I think.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I'll be streaming this game when it releases for sure.
Really? Cool.
Yes. I can't wait to get my hands on it and play Ling Xiaoyu and see her new moves. So, do you guys have any favorite? Probably been asked this a lot. Favorite characters?
Favorite character.
出たみんな聞かれるんだよね。これね、下手にフェイバリットキャラクターを言うとそのキャラをねこうひいきしてるって言われるんで、あんま誤解のないように言いたいんだけど、やっぱりシリーズ通してストーリーとかキャラクター性でと僕の結構いろんな考え方を反映させてるっていう意味ではキャラクター的には平八なんですけど、でもプレイとしては最近僕はやっぱりフェンウェイっていう中国拳法のキャラクターが結構気に入ってます。
So Harada-san, he likes, this is pretty famous in the Tekken crowd, but Heihachi Mishima, because, as a developer, he's been able to kind of implement or reflect a lot of himself on the character, as far as how
More of a
he thinks
personal relation with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But as far as gameplay-wise, Feng Wei is a character that he uses a lot. The Chinese Kempo. Very cheap, by the way, he plays.
Actually,
He uses this move that sidesteps and just hits things.
don't say that.
I think Eddie has to be the worst one.
Yeah. He's not in Tekken 7 this
No,
time
he's
around.
not. Yeah.
From Brazil, we have Katarina, who's a brand new character.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But she's also been
She's
geared
hot.
for people who can just pick up and play right away because she has lots of kicks that are pretty simple to execute.
Yeah.
Myself, like I said, I love Devil Gene. He's one of the stronger Mishimas. He's got Electric Wind, God Fist. He's got a lot of options.
Oh, boy.
But also, I like Josie, one of the new characters from the Philippines,
All right.
because she has a lot of the kickboxing moves that Bruce had. And
Okay, yeah.
I actually do Muay Thai in real life, so it's kind of cool.
Oh,
to
wow.
use the character. What about you? Like Ling Xiaoyu?
So yeah, Ling Xiaoyu. I am also a big fan of Paul. I think Paul is a classic Tekken icon.
Skyscraper hair.
Yeah.
The Death Fist.
Yeah. No, he's wonderful.
See, he's actually got a
Look
new
at that
costume
punch.
this round. He's,
Yeah.
you typically see him in the red, the uniform.
You
But
do.
This time, people said they wanted to see something new, so this is a brand new costume for this time.
No, it looks good. It looks wonderful.
Why Xiao Yu? What?
Ling Xiaoyu.
Yeah.
I think I like how cunning she can be with her moves. She's very quick and she can counteract a lot. So that's why I like her. And I
she's
just
cute, right?
memorized her combos a lot.
She is very strong this time.
Yeah.
Oh, she is? Yes.
The gameplay has kind of changed a bit. In Tag Tournament 2, the previous installment was kind of geared towards the hardcore, so we had longer combos and you could switch out characters and such. This time it's a little bit more focused on the back and forth on the ground between you and your opponent and the strategy behind that. So naturally, some characters are going to be a lot better than perhaps they were in Tag 2. And
Oh, that's good.
she's one of them, so you're lucky.
Wicked. No, variation is really good. So with the combos, have you got more combos accessible than the previous games?
Right. Well, there's different techniques, because characters have we've given even the existing characters some of their new moveset, so you have more options, and just the way that the game mechanics are changed a bit. For example, there was a technique called Bound in the previous one, Tag 2, where you would hit your opponent, launch them, do some juggles, and then you'd hit them down on the ground, and they would bounce, and you would continue it. So some people felt that was a little long, and we swapped it out with a new mechanic that
Oh, okay.
the community is calling tailspin, which you
Tailspin?
hit them and they kind of spin a little bit farther away. You can pick them up and do various things. But the relation to that and the wall breaking and the environments and such is quite different than Tag 2. So there is a lot to explore when you finally get your hands on the game. Not only, that's more for your average user and also the competitive crowd, but people who just like the characters and want to see what's going on with the story can just pick it up and play the story mode, and we have a lot of stuff planned for that crowd as well.
So how do you go on designing these characters and having their backstories and matching it up with how they look?
キャラどうやってデザインしていくのか、あとストーリーどうやって作っていくか。
そうですね、キャラデザインに関しては今までもいろんなトライのやり方をやってて、やっぱり、いろんな角度からやりますね。単にデザイナーが上げてくるっていうものじゃなくて、僕からコンセプトを言うこともあるし、逆に、技ですね、そういう流派の動きを考えてる人からのインスピレーションに作ることもあるし、で逆に本当デザイナーが内部のデザイナーだけじゃなくて外の有名な作家さん使ったりとか、いろんな人のアイデアを入れていく。つまり我々チーム内で結構いろんな角度からいろんなデザイン入れていく。で、まずじゃあデザインについて。
Well, from the character design perspective, there's various approaches. It's not just that the designer comes up with something and we run with it. It's, could be there's an inspiration from a certain martial art, or a lot of times, like, he'll come up with a design. Like, Aliso is actually one of the characters that he came up with the concept and pitched that to the designers and had them flesh it out. And
Nice.
sometimes the designers have a visual concept that they want to go after, and we kind of explore from there. So there are various approaches we take.
Good.
でキャラのストーリーとかキャラのなんでしょう、キャラクターのセッティングみたいなところは、まず大きな流れとしてキャノンストーリーっていうのはちゃんとチームで考えてはいる。で私が何年も前からこう作ってる設定っていうのを一応それには沿ってます。ただし 一個一個のキャラクターやっぱりこう魅力的にするためにはこれもチーム内でみんなで話し合って出てきたアイデアっていうのをはめ込んでいくんですけど、これが重要なのはもう結構冗談で出てきたようなアイデアだとかパッと見た時の印象で出てきたような設定だとか、好きなものとか、この子はどういう性格してるみたいなことを、できるだけ、ちょっとフラッシュアイデアで出てきたものも入れることで、ちょっとこうライブ感になるとか息づいたキャラクターになっていくってところもあるし、逆に取材でこの子はどういうキャラですかって聞かれた時に僕がうっかり適当に答えたこととかも正式なセッティングになっていくっていうところはあります。
There's in the story, the question is so there's various approaches to that as well. Sometimes there's the overarching canon storyline that that's decided very seriously, but then depending on the character and how they're involved in the various story arcs, sometimes it's just we're as a team late night designing the game and we joking around and we come up with an idea and it actually gets implemented.
Sometimes that's the best way, isn't it?
Right? And or sometimes the team as a whole, we actually have meetings and discuss what would be interesting story plots. But then actually sometimes we're in interviews just like this and Harada will just be asked by a journalist and saying I don't know or it's not decided is not very entertaining, so he'll just say something on the spot and then that becomes the story. And so I've got to keep track of what he says in the interview so that we can go home and actually mesh into the story.
Oh, that's cool. So you guys have a bit of flexibility there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's in this time there's a lot of stuff to see for the story because we always have entertaining stuff. We have very serious stuff, and people are kind of wondering. We leave the story arcs hanging quite a bit, and some people, it's been 7 years I think since Tekken 6. So they're always asking us on Twitter, what's happening with a particular character? What happened after that ending movie? Well, this time they'll be able to see it. Mostly focused on the Mishima clan, though. Because, how often is it that the father and son are trying to throw each other off of cliffs or volcanoes or blowing each other up? So why are they that cutthroat? Well, I guess we'll find out. And plus, if you've seen the trailer early on, from October, I think, we showed Kazumi, Hiyachi's wife. She makes her first appearance in this game, and Akuma, and they have this exchange where he says, "I'm gonna pay back the debt I owe to you." And so everyone's like, "Oh my God, why does Akuma
on the edge of their
Akuma
seats.
have a debt to Kazumi?" So that's another thing we'll see in the story mode.
Awesome. Well, it's been a wonderful, wonderful pleasure to have you guys here talking
you.
about Tekken. Even though it's taken a long time for Tekken 7 to come, good things come in time. So I think it's worth the wait. It's going to be well worth the wait.
We hope that everyone will check out the game, not only the show floor, but at various events we'll have it at.
And do you have any forums or anything that you want some viewers to go and give you some feedback?
Well, we often do Twitch events like this,
Yeah.
even on our Tekken channel, so people can tune in, write
Cool.
the comments, or, Twitter, we're very active, so just send us your ideas or what you'd like to see.
Awesome. Well, that's it for the Tekken segment. Up next, we have Minecraft. I absolutely am impressed with this new game. That is Xbox Daily Live Show E3. We'll see you soon.